Hello, my lovely Cancerians, and a very warm welcome to your annual horoscope 2020 to 2021. This year, as I'm sure you've heard many other astrologers saying, is extremely powerful. It brings an opportunity, especially for you Cancerians, because there are eclipses happening in your sign this year. An opportunity for huge personal transformation, where you can change your entire life rather than just little pockets of it. You can upgrade yourself. That's what it's like. It's an opportunity for an entire upgrade. And you know how nice that feels when you get upgraded on an aeroplane or on a train. Isn't it lovely when you're in business or even first class? So that's the opportunity here, with certain challenges, of course, that I'm going to hopefully explain to you for your forecast for this year. Now, don't be concerned about the dates, because at the end of the video is a list of the important dates. So here goes. The year starts out with on the 10th of January with a lunar eclipse in your sign. And on the 12th of January, Saturn and Pluto have this one hit together where they come conjunct. So the year starts out with a flavour, Cancerians, of you looking at yourself, your needs, what you want. And then maybe the overpowering demands of the relationships in your life. What needs to be restructured? Where do boundaries need to be redrawn? Pluto-Saturn suggest issues maybe to do with control, power. How are you dealing with power in your relationships? Do you have too much drama going on? What needs to be restructured and stripped bare to its basic essentials? That's what Saturn and Pluto are all about. Giving you an opportunity, maybe for ending a relationship, maybe it's time, or maybe it's time to really get stuck in there and say, hey, I'm willing to make some deep changes here. I'm not going to keep looking at my partner or my potential partner. I'm going to look at this eclipse. And I'm going to look at what needs to change in me so that my world can change in a positive direction. Woo, powerful stuff. March the 22nd until July 2nd, we've got Saturn briefly going into your 8th house, into Aquarius. This is an opportunity really to maybe restructure your finances in some way. If you've got any debts or mortgage or assets, might be time really to look at ways in which you can be more efficient in this area. And April 4th, June 20th, and November 12th, Jupiter and Pluto are going to conjunct exactly. This is super powerful for your relationships. You may meet somebody with whom you have a really strong magnetic attraction. You may become obsessive about a relationship. Whatever's happening in your relationships, it's time to get to the soul level. You can't play around on the periphery with Pluto and Saturn in the 7th house. It's time to go deep. It's time to look at what are your fears, what are you afraid of? And really, how can you face those fears and at the same time not get lost in those fears? It's time to take your power and to really have a relationship or relationships that are empowering, where you and the other person feel uplifted. You might have things to go through. That isn't to say that Pluto doesn't bring stuff up, it does. But it also gives you an opportunity to clean house, so that something new and different can come in. May the 13th to June 25th, we've got Venus retrograde here in your 12th house. Well, very often this can bring a lover back into your life from the past. Might be for a completion or a healing situation, or maybe a new beginning, you never can tell. Venus retro in your 12th, important time for looking at what gives you pleasure, but internally. Things that you like to do alone. We don't want to listen to what anybody else has to say. Wonderful for going back to those things. Maybe it's astrology, maybe it's tarot, past lives, channeling, awakening your psychic ability, painting, artistry. Whatever it is can be awakened by that Venus retro in your 12th. Now, June the 4th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening in your 6th, and June the 21st, a lovely solar eclipse happening in your 1st house, in your sign. So the lunar eclipse here is shining a light on your health, your well-being. Do you need to make some changes here? It could also bring a project to fruition that you've been working on. You may also find a way in which you can be more productive. Use your time in a more valuable way. And then, of course, this wonderful, wonderful eclipse on June the 21st, right at the solstice, in your sign. New beginnings, new possibilities. The world's your oyster. Don't hide yourself away so much, Cancerians. Sometimes you hide away, or you scuttle off sideways like that crab. No, time to come out, to share your gifts with the world, your sensitivity, your intuition, your knowing. July 2nd to December 7th, we've got Saturn popping his head back into your 7th, asking you once again, have you got clear boundaries in your relationship? If you're feeling angry, chances are you haven't. What needs to be redrawn? July 5th, we've got a solar eclipse happening here in the 7th house of relationship. Nope, sorry, wrong. A lunar eclipse happening in the 7th house. There's so much happening, I'm getting myself a little muddled, but it's all right, got it right now. Lunar eclipse July 5th happening in the relationship house. Bringing something to light. Could be something you didn't want to look at for a while, or you've been sweeping under the carpet. It's time to bring it to light and to resolve it and to do whatever needs to be done. You know what it's like? You look at a window from a certain angle, all of a sudden you see all the dirt on it that you hadn't seen before. So that's what this eclipse does, gives you an opportunity to look at your relationships from a different angle and to do what's needed in order to bring more joy and more upliftment. September 9th until November 13th, we've got Mars retrograde in your 10th. When Mars is retrograde, it's not the best time for starting a new project, but it is a good time for completing something, or for coming back to something that you'd maybe been negotiating for a while, and then you come back to the negotiation table when Mars is retro. It's also an important time not to push yourself. Sometimes there's a tendency to keep going. You're a cardinal sign. Be sensitive to when your body's saying, hey, stop, or even your mind's saying, I need a break. Take the break and listen during Mars retro. November 30th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening here in your 12th, and December the 14th, a solar eclipse happening in the 6th. So now the 6th and 12th houses are activated. So this is everything to do with your inner world and your external world. This is very time-based, has to do with work, new opportunities, new possibilities. And this is you working on the internal level, going deep. And of course, the more you work on your internal self, the more your external world lights up in new and exciting ways. December the 17th, we've got Saturn going into the 8th, And on the 20th, Jupiter, and these two are conjunct, so it's powerful and an opportunity maybe to do some business with somebody, maybe to get into a powerful partnership with someone. And it's also an opportunity to get more intimate, to face your fears. What's stopping you from being more vulnerable, from showing that soft heart of yours, dear Cancerians? This is an opportunity to continue to work to release the protection that you have around your heart, some of you, so that you can have that intimacy that you really want. So, that's the year. You might want to have a personal reading about what the year holds in store for you, maybe combined with some channeling. And I thank you for watching, for liking, for subscribing and commenting. I do read them all, and for sharing. Bye for now.